In stats, we wrapped up this histogram, and then we did a little activity that wasn't part of notes. So yesterday we ended off right here, and I started to look for the median, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just show you how to do this by hand if they're all shuffled up without having to sort them. I mean, they're kind of sorted in this table, but you're still going to have to do some sorting because you'd be looking for the 12th and 13th observation to get the median. So what you can do, this is when you describe the histogram that we're about to make. What you can do is you can open up your calculator, as you see on the right, open up a spreadsheet, give it a title. We're looking at time it takes to get to school, and type in all those times. All right, so there are 24 times. I should probably double check because I was typing fast, but I'm just going to go ahead and for the sake of time, we're going to just do it. So you get them all in a spreadsheet. If you press Menu, Stats, Stat Calc, one variable statistics, it is going to give you a lot of information. We have one list. I named that list time, and you hit OK. That is the only thing you change, is the X1 list. So you come down here and you hit OK, and you get the mean. Here's the sum of the values, some of the squared values. This is called the standard deviation. This is a population standard deviation. This is a little confusing between those two. We'll talk about that. Number of observations, the smallest value, smallest, first quartile, the median, the number we did all that for, third quartile, and the max value. So, long story short, one var stats helps you find the median very quickly, and we'll use this one var stats feature to do box plots and many other things. So we needed, the median is 15, so don't forget that. All right, back to the problem. You make a giant quadrant 1. Time in minutes, and this is first period, time it takes to get to school. Next, you see the note in the top right. You can make this frequency or relative frequency, does not matter. If you're comparing two different data sets, for example, if we were looking at a histogram of first and a histogram of 8th period, we must do relative frequency. But for the sake of time, we're not going to compare groups. We're going to just look at our data. So I'm going to leave this as frequency. And on my x-axis, I'm going to start at 5. You do not have to start at 0. You start at the lower end of your first class. And let's make tick marks for the beginning and end of every class up to 30. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then looks like they went up to 7 on the frequency, so let's number 1 to 7. You make bars based on those heights. So the first bar is up to 3. The bars do touch. Because that x-axis does have value. This is numerical data. This is kind of invading on our title here. And there is our histogram. We need to talk about it, so I'm going to erase to make space, and I can talk about it over here on the left. So don't forget, we found a moment ago that the median is at 15. You could also use the mean that it gave us, but let's lead with some context and the median. The median amount of time it takes first period students to get to school is 15 minutes. Nothing unusual here. No data values are far from another. I was a little surprised by that, but that's how it is. So I'm going to skip unusual for the spread. One of the downsides to a histogram is you lose the precision of the data. So if all you have to look at is a histogram, I have no idea what really occurred in those classes, and all I can see right now is 5 to 30. Now, I do know more to the story because I have the data set right above me, so I can say 5 to 25 minutes for the range. But just be aware, there are pros and cons to every graph, and if all I have is a histogram, I lose the details of my data set. So times range from 5 to 25 minutes. It's hard to say this is symmetric, but yet it's definitely not skewed. So I would hate to say it's not symmetric because of one student right here. So I'm going to say this is somewhat symmetric. It's not a tail, so it's not skewed. The shape is somewhat symmetric. With a peak at 20 to 25 minutes. And that's all you need to say. We got the center, skipped unusual, we got some spread and shape and context. All right, that was it. Bye, y'all.